However, we recognize that the threats we face in this borderless age are often both local and transnational. We recognize that an insurrection or conflict in one country can spread like an infection across borders to destabilize neighbors and create an even greater threat that may jeopardize regional security and stability. This is why strategic, multi-dimensional partnerships, such as we have here today, are essential to guaranteeing the stability and prosperity of our nations and our continent. As a conclave of parliamentarians who work on defense and security issues, this forum is of particular importance. The threats confronting us, whether occasion-induced conflicts or by hostile armed non-state actors, require us to deepen our cooperation and strengthen the cross-cutting bonds between our defense and security institutions. As parliamentarians, you have a crucial role in leading domestic advocacy for vital security partnerships in your respective countries. And I'm grateful to note that the newly established European Peace Facility advances the cause of defense and security partnerships between the African Union and the European Union, notably by paving the way for bilateral cooperation. This facility will significantly enhance our capacity to promote peace and stability of the continent. Beyond this, the partnerships we are required to in will take various forms and be actualized along different axes. In building a common front against the forces of destabilization, the principle of human security must be the central animating impulse of our response measures. At a time that non-state actors are violently challenging the fundamental legitimacy of our countries, it is of utmost importance that governments engage in partnerships with civil society. This approach must necessarily encompass not just all government, but all of society. Mobilizing the full spectrum of our national assets also means engaging the broad expanse of our societies. And in order to do this, we must renew the social compact that binds governments and the government and build institutions that promote inclusive security and prosperity. We recognize that having large segments of our population feeling alienated and or marginalized is a critical vulnerability. The challenge then for us is to develop measures through policy and legislation that create an umbrella of security over our people, and thereby prevent the forces of destabilization from weaponizing the frustrations of the marginalized. In doing this, we must also ensure that the human and material resources that we should be deploying for growth and development are not consumed in conflict. The mission of this network assumes an even greater importance, given our long-held aspiration towards continental integration. The African Continental Free Trade Agreement is the most recent manifestation of our resolve to open our borders to increase intra-African trade and grow the continent's economy. It has long been established that deepening the trade links between our nations would serve as a propulsive engine for driving Africa's growth. But these objectives would be undermined by unchecked destabilization and insecurity. In the light of this, it is clear that the network has a key role to play in securing our collective prosperity. For our own part, Nigeria remains committed to fulfilling its obligations as a member of ECOWAS, the AU, and a leading economy on the continent. It also remains committed to the cause of African integration and all collaborative endeavors that promote the cause with which this august network is a fine example. On this, I commend the leadership of the network and the organizers of the conference for putting together this important summit. It is my hope that in the course of your deliberations, particularly in analyzing the prospects of the European Peace Facility, the ECOWAS Protocol on the Free Movement of Persons, Goods and Services, and other relevant conventions, you will identify gaps that will form the basis of legislative and policy actions by the countries that are represented here. I thank you all for listening, and it is now my very special pleasure to formally open the 5th Conference of the Network of Parliamentarians for Defense and Security Committees of the House of Representatives in Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed.